All right, guys. Hope you guys are doing great. We are getting to the exciting part. We're going to start running Facebook ads here this next week. And so what we have to start with is creating our ad campaigns. And the first thing we need to address is going to be our audience. So I'm going to show you some tools to kind of get to know your audience a little bit better so that we can ensure that when we are spending money on these ads, our money's going the furthest. We're putting this out in front of people who need and want what you have to offer. We're not wasting our time with maybes or people who have no interest in it. So when you're in your ads manager, this is what it'll look like. I'm going to have you guys go over to the top left corner. You'll see ads manager there. You're going to go down to all tools, and we're going to go under plan here. We have audience insights. This is an awesome tool, and basically Facebook lets us kind of see all the demographics of people, so we can really use this to find out new interests to include in our audience when we're creating our audience, or maybe the demographics of our audience. We're finding out who they are, where they're at, what they're interested in, which can really help us create an audience that is in need of what we have to offer. So when you get there, it's going to ask you to choose an audience to start, and we want to go with everyone on Facebook. So what we're looking at right now is just the demographics of Facebook in general. We can see that there are more women on Facebook than men. We can see a majority of the age groups are in this 25 to 44 age group for Facebook. If we want to get more technical, we can go down to relationship status, education level. We can look into job titles. It really kind of gives us a lot of information behind the scenes, which is awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to play with this so that we can kind of find out more about our specific audience. So we already knew this from the beginning. We spent a lot of time narrowing down who your niche is and creating your avatar. So all that's great information. This will just be that next step so that when we go to create our audience, we have an awesome audience who is going to respond well to the ads we put out. So let's say for my example, I am a coach who helps women compete in their first bikini competition, okay? So what I'm going to do on the left-hand corner here, I'm going to start typing in interest. So if I think of bodybuilding and bikini, I'm going to start with, let's say, Michelle Lewin, and there she is. So we'll pop her in there. You can see my demographics already shifted. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to women, because I also know that I only train women, and there's no need for me to even look at the demographics of men. It's not going to serve me any purpose. So I'm going to knock that out of there. And let's say I'm going to add another person. Let's go Paige Hathaway. She's pretty famous. Okay, so now all my demographics are shifting, and I'm kind of seeing my age group is probably going to be in this 25 to 35. Maybe I'll even extend it up to 25 to 40, but I'm kind of in this mid-range here. It looks like most of my people have been to college. I can see what kind of healthcare or what kind of jobs they're in, so personal care and home service, healthcare, food, restaurant, sales, etc. So we're going to find out, we're going to dig a little bit deeper, and we're going to go over to page likes. And I'm seeing things like coach, trainer Lindsay, so that might be someone I want to write down. I'm seeing vitamin supplement, shreds women, ideal fit, bodybuilding.com. These are all great things that I'm going to take note of. Body Rock TV, Fit Girls Guide. Not sure what that is, but it looks like it's a big community. Let's see. Yeah, so it just looks like it is a community. Let's see, got a lot of followers. Let's see what it's about. We got 1.1. Let's go to about. Easy recipe, simple workouts, and community. Okay, really simple. But maybe that's something I want to include in mine. So we're going to use all these to just kind of come up with interests that our audience is going to be. Where are they? Okay, so I'm going to start taking notes. I'm going to write some of these things down. You can even see more if you want. Vitamin Shop. I can see Fitness World. I can see Beachbody, public figures. These would be important to probably write down. Fitness RX for women, all this stuff, okay? Sports, female fitness models. That might be good for me to put. But it just gives you a lot of information. I can kind of narrow down my demographics, my location. If I wanted, this is just doing United States. But it just gives you an inside look, guys. So you can kind of play around with this. Maybe I'm going to go a little bit generic. Maybe I am going to go fitness and wellness. And then I'm going to see what these people are interested in. And I'm going to see if they match my demographics. And I'm going to see if I can dig some other stuff out that I didn't find in the other ones. So maybe I need to add a little bit something else. Maybe fitness and wellness, and maybe they're into Quest Nutrition. Quest is big. Maybe I should put Quest Nutrition. Let's see, let's put Quest. There we go. Nutrition. Okay, so now I'm changing. I'm going to see if my demographics stay the same. Still in that range. Still looking about the same. So these people match. So now I'm going to go to page likes, and I'm going to just see if I can find some other stuff that I can add. Still getting a lot of, maybe I need to put, so I don't think I'm quite on brand here. So let's go ahead and put something else in. Maybe we'll put bodybuilding instead. So maybe we'll put that, bodybuilding and fitness. Okay. So bloggers, Skinny Taste, maybe I'll look into adding them. So guys, this is basically just a tool that you're going to use to help you explore and find out who your target audience is, okay? So you're gonna wanna take notes, you're gonna just wanna try to play around with this, see if you can come up with some stuff and really narrow down who your target audience is. So what we're gonna do with that, I'm not gonna waste any more time showing you this. You guys will have to spend some time playing around with that. We're actually gonna go ahead and start creating that audience. So we're gonna go to our ad manager, and we're gonna leave, and what we'll do is I'm going to create an ad. Okay, so we'll create an ad and guided creation. And what we're going to be doing, we're going to be doing it for Messenger because we're going to be scheduling calls to that before we get set up. And we'll go over creating your ad later, so don't worry too much about that, but go ahead and we can switch to all this stuff later. But hit messages, and we're also going to name the campaign. So I'm going to name it 28-Day Challenge Launch What? Okay. And then we're going to go, and the first thing we got to figure out is our audience. Okay. So right now I'm at 230,000 people. That's way too big. Remember, we want to be in that 500 to probably a mil, but nothing under 500, just because it's going to get that's just my name. It's going to get too expensive that way. Okay, so I'm going to name this. I'm going to say, this is my audience name, 28-Day Challenge, and I'm going to say, I'm going to start with, maybe I'll put some hints. Put Michelle IFBB. okay, just because I'm going to be using that kind of as my main to start. So we're going to create a custom audience, and we are going to first pick our location. So maybe we're doing the United States. Maybe I want to extend into Canada too. Maybe you just want to stay local in your city, in your area. Up to you guys. But we are going to just need to narrow it down. In the very least, I would pick countries that speak English. So maybe the United States, Canada, UK, maybe Australia. But just where you know that their first language is English. And then I'm going to go, I know my audience is 25. And I'm going to go up to 40. And I'm going to go women. And just like we talked about, we want English, all, it doesn't matter. And then this is where we can start doing our detailed targeting, okay? So I'm going to start with Michelle, like we did. And I'm going to put maybe Paige Hathaway again. And you can see my potential reach here, okay, still super high. I'm going to maybe add in connection time. So I don't want people who just like that, but I also want people who like, no, not my page. People who use your app, people who use your app. Oh wait, this is what I want. Narrow audience. Okay, so I want them to match one of the following two. Okay, so let's say I want them to be into body building. And I'm going to take some of those things that I pulled off of, so maybe the Fit Girls Guide, that community that we found. Doesn't show up, that's okay. Maybe shreds, maybe I'm going to put, okay, so now I'm dropping down a little bit more. Let's see, what else do we have in there? Body Rock was a big one. There we go, put Body Rock TV on there. And then maybe I want to exclude people who are into, let's see, I don't want, did I switch it to just women? That's one thing. Okay, yeah. So exclude people who are into, I just want, can I get more specific? Actually want that on there. Let's see, let's add some more people. Who is that? Kaylin. Let's go, Lady Boss. Is that showing up? Okay, maybe Jen Saltifer. And Jillian Michaels, she's a big name. Okay. And then we're gonna be here. And bikini competitor. No. Anyways, guys, well, you can see you're gonna have to play around. I didn't do a good job taking notes, but you're gonna have a whole list of interests, and you're gonna start narrowing down this audience. So right now my potential reach is 3 million. It's way too high. I'd like to get in that 500,000 to 1 million. But essentially, you're just going to take all those interests, those demographics that we just spent time researching, and we're going to start adding them. So you can, like I showed you, you can just add interests into themselves. You can add, hey, they have to like these people, but they also have to like this. And then you can also add exclusions. Okay, so like they have to like this, but they maybe not powerlifting. Okay, we don't want powerlifters. We're looking for people who are just into figure and bodybuilding. Okay, so maybe we're going to exclude that. So that brought me down to 1 million. Great. So that cuts a lot of that out of there. So what you want to do is once you feel comfortable with it, we have it set, and we're going to move on to the next step. We're going to get into that later. So what you'll do is just save the audience, and then we'll come back to this ad, and we'll go through placement and budget and the rest of all this stuff. Okay, guys? So I hope this makes sense. Let us know if you have any questions. Play around with there. Get to know your audience. Get to dig deep, find some interest you didn't think about, and then get that narrow audience, and then at least that 500,000 to $1 million, probably 500 to 800 would be perfect, okay? And just get creative. It can be kind of hard at first, but just put stuff down and just see what pops up, okay? I hope all that makes sense, guys. Let us know if you have any questions, and yeah, we'll talk soon.